Mahjong. An ancient Chinese game. To be fair, it's about as ancient as chess is for people in Europe. There are many Mahjong video games out there, and there's many different ways to play it. But today I'm just going to focus on one particular method to play it. I'm not going to go into huge details on all the rules. I will give you the bare basics for what we're going to look at, which is the one-player Mahjong, also known as Mahjong Solitaire or Shanghai. These are the proper names for it, yet for some reason when it comes to the video games, they're just called Mahjong. It can be a bit misleading, and it honestly drives me crazy. Before we get to the rules of how the hell to play Shanghai, here's the different types of tiles you can get. There's circles, bamboos, wind tiles, and dragon tiles. Speaking of dragon tiles, 5 nerdy points if anyone tell me what film this is from. Or which film I know it from, more specifically.
I am the dragon, and you call me insane.
As you can see here, I do actually own my own Mahjong tiles, but funnily enough, I don't know how to play proper Mahjong. I never figured it out. Shanghai, Mahjong Solitaire, whatever the hell you want to call it, the one-player game, I love to bits. It's been my go-to when it comes to needing to de-stress, and I've kind of collected quite a few Shanghai games over the years. I don't know why. You really only need one. So this is going to kind of be a video where you can pick one that you like the looks of and try it out. I highly implore you to try it out. You could probably download something on your phone, but I'm guessing that you, watching, are a person of taste. So you wouldn't do that, would you? No. You'd want something on a console or a computer. I don't like computers and they don't like me. The thing is, when it comes to Shanghai, playing it practically with actual tiles can be a pain. It's not that easy to set up, and it just doesn't work all that well. Shuffling all the tiles around, trying to make it different each time, it just doesn't translate. It takes too long. And the good thing about Shanghai is it's something you can just play instantly. So the practical game, not so great. The video game, brilliant. And we're going to start with one of the best Shanghai video games there is, and in fact it's also the best one to learn how to play from because it has a tutorial at the start that's incredibly short, incredibly simple, and as long as you can actually read, you'll be fine. We are, of course, starting with one of the greats, Shanghai, on the greatest video game console ever made, the Master System. Ow, my eyes. Shanghai is played with 144 tiles from the Chinese game of Mahjong. At the start of the game, the tiles are shuffled and laid out in the dragon formation. That's this. The object of the game is to remove all the tiles. They must be removed 2 at a time, in matching pairs from among the free tiles. A tile is free if there's nothing on top of it and if it can slide left or right. 2 tiles match if they are identical. Any 2 flowers match, any 2 seasons match. That's right, seasons are also a tile type. The game is won when all tiles are removed. Or lost when no legal moves remain. That is actually the only problem you'll find with a Shanghai game. You're not guaranteed to win. If you plan it crappily and you manage to end up with the wrong amount of tiles left, you can't match anything, you've screwed it. There's nothing you can do. But while that is a pain in the ass, it just makes it more gratifying when you do it properly. So I implore you, don't give up. If this is something that's winding you up, either try a different Shanghai / Mahjong Solitaire game. I'm going to start calling them Shanghai now because it's starting to bug the hell out of me doing it like this. Try a different video game. We are going to start with retro console ones, then we'll go on to modern console ones, then we'll talk about something that some of you are just waiting for, and then I will go on to what I think are the best ways to play Mahjong. Now, Shanghai on the Master System is indeed basic, but it is beautifully basic. It has everything you need. You can turn the timer off, you can do tournaments, you can do all of this rubbish. You can't change the background though. You're stuck with what you got. but due to the simplicity of the fact that it's an 8-bit game, I don't think you'll care. This one works really great, but does have one strange little thing to it. Doesn't bother me, but I feel like I should warn some people. If you're playing this on a Master System, actual hardware, don't try and play it with a Mega Drive controller. If you try with a Mega Drive controller, the D-pad, the cursor, gets kind of stuck. Not completely stuck, but kind of stuck. Instead of being able to freely move all around, you can only go up or down. I don't know why, it's kind of weird. Play it with a Master System controller to avoid this crap. Next is Shanghai Pocket for the Game Boy Color. There is actually a color and non-color port for this game. I recommend the color one just to make it a little bit easier to see. But what's unique about this one is it has 3 modes of play. Going past the names of those modes, it's essentially traditional, time attack, and verse computer. I have to say the verse mode is actually a hell of a lot of fun. The time attack is a pain in the ass, but the only thing that really lets down this Game Boy Color port is the simple fact that no matter what mode you play it on, you are timed. There is no way to just sit back, chillax, take your time or any of that. You're stuck. You have to have a timer. Unless there's a way to turn the timer off and I haven't figured it out, I am an idiot, that is a possibility. Next game, Shanghai for the Game Boy Original. It's basic, it's simple, it's tough to differentiate some of the tiles due to the lack of colour, but there is no timer here. You can sit back and take your time with this one. You can enjoy it fully, you can do what you want. Unless you really are struggling to see, in which case, yeah, try another game, like this next one. Shanghai, the Great Wall for the Sega Saturn. But it's on the Sega Saturn, so it's awesome, alright? I don't need to go into more detail. Then there's Shanghai on the Game Gear. It is simple, and it is fun, but I have to be honest with you. This is one of those Game Gear games that really strains your eyes. You might not be able to see it here because I'm recording it with better tech, but when you're playing it on an actual Game Gear, it kind of looks crap. I mean, the Game Boy games on original Game Boy look fine even when there's no colour, but when you're playing the Game Gear one, all the little details on the tiles just look rubbish. I will quickly point out there are also a few Mahjong games for the Wii. I've lost mine. I've recently moved house. I have no way of recording it, so that's gone. I will just say they're actually quite fun due to the point and click ability. The Wiimote actually works well, but not as well as what I believe is the best way to play Mahjong, solitaire, or any games like that. But we're saving that. Next, we're going on to modern games. So for modern Mahjong, I'm going to start off on a high note. This is actually my favourite one, Mahjong Minimal. It is indeed the best modern Mahjong game, at least when it comes to Switch. The music is serene, the graphics are basic, but there's no nonsense here. There's no crap, there's no filler. It is Mahjong. Solitaire. It is Shanghai. It is everything you want without any of the guff. I actually love the simplicity to this one, and I highly recommend you try this. If you're having to play it on a modern console, you can't do retro, you're not in the mood for anything like that. Modern. Mahjong Minimal. There it is. Doesn't cost much. Give it a go. Then there's 1001 Ultimate Mahjong. Now, providing you're playing this on the Switch, I have to say it's great in handheld mode. Just being able to touch the screen of your Switch makes it really easy. But if you want to play it on your television, it's crap. It doesn't like most of my controllers. It works with the Joy-Con, but it won't even work with a Nintendo Pro controller. So this is definitely leaning more towards handheld. But it looks the part, there's plenty to do. It has more of an aesthetic appeal than Mahjong Minimal, so if you care about that, maybe this one. But yeah, if you're going to play on the TV, maybe not. Then we have Pure Mahjong. This has great graphics, great music. Overall, the Asian themes here are fantastic, like the fortune cookies you get if you actually beat one of the levels. They're actually more accurate and better fortunes than genuine fortune cookies, which offer a load of old shite. But there is, of course, a downside to this game. It's not perfect. In handheld mode, like the last game, it works absolutely fine. There's no problems at all. But when you're playing it on the television, the tile selection is kind of weird. There's no cursor. You just skip from tile to tile, and it annoyingly keeps skipping the tile I want to pick. And that is modern Mahjong game, modern Shanghai game. Now, before I get to a certain topic that I know a lot of you are simply waiting for, I'm going to wet my whistle with an Atari pint glass. I've recently bought these and I just think they're cool as fuck, and well, I'm thirsty, bollocks. Yeah. What are we talking about? Ah, yes, the pervy Mahjong games. There are a lot of strip Mahjong. There is more strip traditional Mahjong, like the traditional game, than there is strip Shanghai games. They do, however, exist. And I'm not going to show a bunch of them just because usually they focus so heavy on the strippy perviness that the gameplay suffers and becomes crap. Now, I don't want to recommend any game that I think is just pervy for the sake of being pervy and the gameplay itself is shite. When it comes to that, go watch porn. Who gives a fuck about the game? But there is at least one Shanghai game that's pervy and the gameplay is quite good. Pretty Girls Mahjong. There are several versions, red, blue, green, probably more, for all I fucking know. But the gameplay is basically the same on all of them, it's just that the girls within the game are slightly different. The gameplay here is actually quite challenging. I highly recommend it if you're someone that thinks they're the hot shit when it comes to these games. If you're a beginner, you might get fed up quickly because you're timed and it's all about how quickly you can see those pairs, how quickly you can match everything up. The quicker you do it, then, well, you get to a point where the girl strips. The girls actually strip several times. There's like 4 levels to a girl, and the 4th level, I believe, is basically where they're wearing the least. Like the first time you do it with a girl, that doesn't sound right. The first level with girl is when you take off a minimal amount, like, I don't know, a cardigan and something pointless, like a hat. Whereas the 4th level, yep, now she's in a bikini. You gotta work hard to see that bikini, though. The game's not exactly easy. Like I said, I don't want to cover too many of those kind of games, and funnily enough, it's not to do with anything about, oh, I don't want any porny stuff on my channel. You know I don't care. I just don't think many of the games are all that good. But that one's alright. So we've covered retro, we've covered modern, and to a small extent we've covered pervy. But now I want to cover what I consider to be the best way to play the Shanghai games. Now, I did reference the Wii games. They're pretty good, but there is something better. One's on DS and 3DS. There is only one problem to this. I don't actually have a way to record game footage from a DS or 3DS, so we're going to have to do it guerrilla style. Camera down on the DS, and I will do my best to make it as visually good as possible. I'm sorry, I don't have a way around it, and I'm too far into the whole YouTubey thing to give a fuck about buying any kind of tech or modding any kind of tech where I can record that footage. And I'm not going to steal someone else's footage? Yes, I'm not going to steal someone else's footage. Not going to steal that shit and then pretend it's mine when it ain't, because I don't fucking know how to do it. First one is Mahjong 300 for the DS. Now, while I'm playing it, I'm just going to talk to you very quickly about why I think the DS and 3DS games are the best. It is simply because the stylus. The use of the stylus makes the game so good. Much better. You can play it much quicker. My favourite one, which we'll leave till last, favourite game, I feel like I can challenge myself and try to beat my own record because I'm using the stylus. There's something quicker about it. Like I said, the Wii with the Wiimote, it's kind of good, but it's not 100% responsive and you're watching a stupid cursor float around on the screen, whereas with a DS, tap it. There you go. Anyway, Mahjong 300. It has nice animation. The music sounds terrible, and it has highlighted tiles. You would have seen this in some of the other Mahjong games, and I have failed to mention about it until now. That's my fault. I forgot. I forgot until now. Highlighted tiles. I hate them. Basically, it cheats. Rather than having to look at every tile and try and figure it out for yourself, the game tells you which ones you can pick from. If you want to play like this, that's fine. You may have seen on some of the other games with the footage I've shown, it has that feature. It's fine if you want that. I don't want it. And that is the only reason why I don't like this DS game. Mahjong 300 cannot turn off highlighted tiles. If you're fine with that, then great, this game's good for you. But if you're like me and you hate it, don't bother. Mahjong Quest. Now there are several Mahjong Quest games, and here's this one. It has fun animation, a very old school Chinesey style to it. It's got fun puzzle mode. It's great for the collection. I can't fault this one. Unlike the last one where I could pick it apart, here I can't. Next is Solitaire Mahjong. Yes, someone out there thought they were being clever by swapping the words around, making it harder for pricks. Fuck it. Making it harder for pricks like me to say. And as we've just witnessed, I can't speak. The story is like a shit history lesson. The music is so lame, but at least you can turn off highlighted tiles. Yeah, not my favourite in the collection. Mahjong DS. Very basic. Has a nice little story, but the selling point here is how clear it is to see the tiles. And it really helps you to progress and become a faster player. It will improve your skills. And now we get to my favorite Mahjong game. There is a downside to it. We'll leave that till last. This is Best of Mahjong. And that is indeed its name. I can't even tell you why. I just love this game. It looks awesome. It plays well. It has good music, although sometimes I'm not in the mood for that shit and I just turn it right down. I find it easier to concentrate sometimes when there's nothing going on around me. It truly is my favorite, and it's the one I just tend to go to the most. It's kind of dumb how I have this whole collection of Shanghai games, yet I won't lie, that's the one I will go to and play the most. Except maybe the Master System one, but hey, it's me, what do you expect? There is a downside to Best of Mahjong on the 3DS. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know, and I will fucking do something about this, but as far as I know, this game is digital only. And on 3DS only. Which means you can't buy this anymore. When I lose my 3DS, or when something eventually happens to it, wear and tear, who knows, that's it, that game's gone. And that sucks. That really sucks. I'm lucky with the fact that when they first said they were taking games off the market, I had the foresight to put my 3DS to one side, and I bought a cheap 2DS, and I just bought a bunch of other games on another account. That way, if something happens to one, I still have my favorite games backed up. Even, and yeah, laugh at me, I have the fucking 3DS Minecraft backed up. I don't know why, it's terrible, but I own it in 2 places. Go me. I hope you've enjoyed this little video about Mahjong, Solitaire, and Shanghai. I have wanted to do this video for the longest time, or something like it. I love Shanghai games. I wanted to talk about them before the channel quit. I thought they make a good Sega Head episode, but on further analysis of that, I thought, no, those videos are all about the comedy aspect, and there's nothing really funny here. It's just a case of reviewing games and letting you know what I think you should try and what you should just avoid. So that didn't work, and then it just never happened. I have to say, I think it's because before I quit doing it full time, I really cared about the views, and I don't think this video is going to do well for views. I think it's going to tank. But now that I don't give 2 shits, why not do it? Can't just keep doing the lazy Let's Plays, mix it up every so often. Here we are. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something, and I hope you're going to try one of these games out. DS ones. I would go with that. But if you're going modern, you can't be arsed with all the faff of retro. Mahjong Minimal on the Switch. That's the easiest thing to just go to. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, why the fuck are you still watching? Thank you very much. Bye.